Today on the channel, Elite 87 with rankings at the end. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Elite unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we've got Elite 87 Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews, he has not had a figure in quite some time, and then just like that, yes, like that, he's got 4 figures in one fell clip. As we have this one, he is also the chase of Elite 87, so be on the lookout for that one. You guys know me, I search for my chases out in the stores if at all possible. So I'll get that later on the channel down the line. But he's got the 2 elites with the chase, and then he has 2 basics that are also a chase involved in there. So we get 4 Apollo Crews figures in about a 2-month window after having over a year of no Apollo Crews figures. So very interesting times for Apollo Crews. But then, to throw another wrench into this one, Apollo has recently changed his on-screen persona, his wrestling persona on the SmackDown brand, as he has General Aziz with him now, so hopefully we get him. You guys know I love a good big figure. I'd love to see them use that. They could use it for almost that mold. Hopefully Giant Gonzalez, maybe a few other Giants down the line. I'd love an Elegante as well, but that's neither here nor there with this review. But Apollo Crews, I gotta think we're gonna get more Apollo Crewses sooner than later in the Elite line. And we're gonna do this review like we normally do. We're gonna take a look at the packaging, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna unbox it, we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna compare it to Apollo Crews' only other Elite figure from the Target exclusive Elite NXT line. So be prepared for that at the end of the review. But let's take a look at the packaging first on Apollo Crews. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Is there any fuss? I'm not really sure, but we'll find out when we look at it. So there it is. We got that white packaging. We're used to this. New packaging should be coming pretty soon. I want to say Elite 90, 91, somewhere in that range, maybe even 89 might be the new packaging for 2022. So we'll see if there's any changes. But we know all about this 2021 packaging by now. We got the True Effects logo here. We got the seal of approval. It's a certified WWE product. We got Apollo Crews down at the bottom. You got the Elite logo. We got a little glamour shot. Of course, you got the figure. You get the new United States title belt. First time in the line, I do believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that's the first time in the line. And then we also have 2 new fists, or not new fists, but we got fists. We got fists. And like I always say, we should always have fists with a wrestling figure. That's one thing I feel that is lacking in the AEW Jazzwares. I'm getting my wrestling federations mixed up. Not AWA, AEW Jazzwares. The lack of fists is disturbing, I would say, in that line. Maybe that's just me, but there's Apollo on the front there. Of course, we got Apollo on the side, a little glamour shot action of him, just smiling away. He's turned that smile into a frown these days. You guys know, if you're following along on SmackDown and all of his adventures, there he is when he had the new United States title, of course, right there. Elite logo down and below. And then we got the back of the package. We got the rest of the Elite 87 lineup down below as well. As you guys know, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to unbox all of those guys. Then we'll do a special ranking video at the end of the week like we always do, so be prepared for that. We got another glamour shot, same one as the side of the package, Elite logo up top. Then we got Apollo Crews, and we got a blurb. You guys know we got to read the blurb. We love a good blurb. Let's see what it says about Apollo Crews. All right, Apollo Crews from Stone Mountain, Georgia. I wonder if he knows Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake Snake, most popular guy from Stone Mountain, Georgia. I think he's the most famous citizen. Maybe they're related. You think he's related to Jake Roberts? Maybe they're cousins or something like that? Probably not. But it'd be interesting to ask Apollo, what did all the kids on the old schoolyard, on the old playground, what do they think about old Jake the Snake Roberts? Was he the hometown hero wrestler? Is that how that went? I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out. Weight, 240 pounds, 6'1". Career highlights, United States champion. Good for him. Prior to his title defense against MVP at Extreme Rules horror show, and oh, it was a horror show, all right, Apollo Crews was presented with a new United States championship. So there you go. A lot of info there. But Stone Mountain, Georgia's new favorite son. I'm sure inspiring all those Stone Mountain Georgians every day of the week. All right, let's get down to it. Let's see what's going on in here. We got that usual blue background. We love it. We know it. We want some more of it. See you later. Up high, off the wall. Oh my, watch out. Little plastic prison for Apollo. He's got that belt up high. He's wearing it with pride. So there he is. Got that new United States title belt, 2 fists, like I said. You guys know with the variants and the chases, I always display them with different hands to give them a little point of difference, even another point of difference. That's just the way I like to do things. We are not tied in. We're not buckled in. See you later. None of that kind of stuff. So that's an interesting one. Oh, geez. First thing I noticed when I get him out of the package, we got some tore up on his painted on wrist tape. I guess it's painted on here. But it's scuffed on the side. It's also scuffed on both sides. So that's unfortunate. Any other issues? His trunks look good. Everything else looks okay. A couple of spots on the top of his head. A little white spot. Maybe that's from the scratch off. I don't know. But a really good head scan, true effects, whatever you want to call it for Apollo Crews. Sometimes these true effects, I don't like them. I don't really hate them as a lot of people do straight out hate them. Some are better than others, of course, like anything else. But this one looks pretty good. I think this looks like Apollo to me. I'm okay with it. I can get around it. Head movement is a little rough on these as of late. I've noticed this on this Apollo one. It's just got unnatural kind of clicks to it a little bit. I don't know. I think your response may vary on that. I don't think that's going to be everybody's figure. But you never know. Luckily, the white guard scraped off. It's not where you can really see it, where you're going to pose it. You can see it. I guess that's the one fortunate thing. But it is unfortunate to have paint application issues right out of the package. If you guys remember back on the channel, the height of COVID time frame, we had all kinds of paint issues from Mattel. I got to think that was part and due to COVID maybe, and factory issues, all that kind of stuff. But things have gotten a lot better over the last few series, so I do have to give them props for that. Apollo's got double jointed elbows on him. Very hard to move, though. There it is. It was stuck. Boy, that was a really stuck joint. That's always scares me. I do love these joints, though, especially after doing these AEW Jazzwares unboxings lately. As you guys know, the elbow joints are very loose on the Jazzwares figures. They're very good on these. So we got double jointed elbows. Do we have double jointed knees on him? It looks like we do. So that's a new one. We're starting to get that in across the board on the Mattel figures. Of course, that is the way of the future, and I think AEW having that on all their figures has really ramped that up for Mattel. It's one of the things that having competition is nice because it makes all companies get better. It makes them get the improvements, get up to speed. They don't want to be passed by. And Mattel, Jazzwares, no matter what you say, they are in competition. I always talk about it in my real world job. It's like if they ask you who's your competition, it's not the company that makes the exact same things you make. It's everybody in that store is your competition. And that's one thing. That's a little interview tip. If you guys ever need interview preps for a big interview, hey, come to your buddy Kyle. I can help you out. But if you're talking in a store, say you're going, say you work for Frito-Lay. I know a good Frito-Lay, an old cowboy that loves Frito-Lay. Say you're working for Frito-Lay and they say, hey, who's your competition? Well, is it Old Dutch potato chips or another potato chip company? Yes, that is your competition. But you know who else is your competition out there? It's the Nabiscos of the world, the Keeblers of the world, the dairy farms of the world, whoever. Everything in that store is your competition. And that goes with wrestling figures. It's not just against Jazzwares, Mattel, and their wrestling figure. They're challenging Mattel or Marvel Legends or anybody else out there. That's just the way of business. So you remember that. An old pro tip there from your old buddy Kyle. You can take that for free. But good. I like this figure. It's due. We were due for a new Apollo, a modern day Apollo. It's kind of nice in a way that we got this later face-turned good guy Apollo right before he turned into a bad guy to represent kind of the last few years of Apollo's career. Because going forward, we know we're going to get a lot of bad guy Apollo cruises, heel Apollo cruises. So a lot of people are probably down on this, saying, oh, I wish it was the new Apollo, but this works, because guess what? We're going to get a lot of those Apollos in the future. I'm fairly certain of it. It's nice to be represented with a more modern-day face Apollo cruise, if that makes sense, and I think it does. We're going to put them on the Ringside Collectible stand. I say it all the time. Spend your money on your figures, not your stands. Ringside Collectible stands, ringsidecollectibles.com. Use code Kyle, of course, to save 10%. We got the other Apollo cruise from the NXT days of Apollo Crews right there. Sans beard, he's just got a goatee, just a young, chipper, up-and-comer right here, where he's had the world defeated him a few years here. He survived COVID, you name it, everything else. He got through the TV tapings without crowds, all that stuff. So that's what happens. It wears on you. When COVID hits, you grow a beard, you turn into a bad guy, you grow your hair long, things go crazy. Maybe if you start a YouTube channel, you never know what might happen. But there it is, a good Apollo, I think, for all the reasons I mentioned. It's nice to have an updated face version of Apollo before we're bombarded with basics, Showdown 2 packs, elites of bad guy Apollo crews. So there's a silver lining there. This new championship title belt, just fine, I guess. I don't know. It's I think like most longtime fans, the new Intercontinental title, the new United States title, didn't do a lot for us. We liked the tradition of the old titles. We didn't want some changes, but you know, changes always happen. I'm sure there's some younger kids and people my age and newer ones that don't care what their title belts look like, or they don't have an opinion or whatever, but for better or worse, this is the new United States Championship. It's always good to get a new title in the line. And, you know, it'd be funny if you gave him the old title. I guess it would kind of work because he did switch over to this one, but you guys know what I mean. But it's cool, first time in line for title, so I can see some people buying this just for the title belt and maybe flipping Apollo Crews, because there's definitely people that collect the title belts and like to get the title belts, don't care about some of the figures, and I could see that happening with Apollo Crews, unfortunately. So there you have it, Apollo Crews back in the Elite line, available to everybody as he's part of Elite 87, of course, where you know, the other one was an NXT right here. This was an NXT Target exclusive. So there you go. But expect a lot more Apollo Crews figures in the future. I'd bet the house on it. I'm going to bet the house on more Apollo Crews figures. So there you go. Elite 87, Apollo Crews. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we continue unboxing Mattel WWE Elite 87 figures. And today on the channel, we're unboxing first time in the line, Santos Escobar, an NXT staple at this point. Has his own crew out there, and we saw at San Diego Comic-Con. This is the only figure he's going to get. We're getting a pair of basics. We'll have some suited figures, masked figures. Yes, I said it, masked figures, and we get a mask in this one. We'll talk about it a little bit here. We're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews out there. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. And we'll see where it goes from there. We'll also compare this figure. As the first thing when I saw this figure, it reminded me of that Andrade figure a few sets back. So we'll compare the two. Very similar focus and style and everything else there. So let's get down to it. Let's take a look at the pictures. The packaging, you know, everything else in between. But Santos Escobar, somewhat new to the NXT system out there, but made a big impact, won the Cruiserweight title, and then has went on from there, feuding with the North American Champion right now. So I think they have some big plans for this guy in the future. We'll see how it all shakes out like everybody else. Will he go to the WWE? Will he stay in NXT? Will he just be a Cruiserweight? The future, we'll find out very soon, I'm sure. But there he is right there. You got the glamour shot down there. You got the seal of approval, the WWE authentic product here. Santos Escobar down below. True Effects logo. We got extra hands, and then we got that masthead. I like that a lot, and we'll talk about that when we get it out of the package. WWE logo at the top, and then Elite 87 at the top as well. Take a look right here. You got glamour shot, just looking kind of smug there. A little smug, but we like that in our wrestlers. So there he is right there. And then we got him walking to the ring, very proud of himself here, as he should be. He's got the title. Look at him. Is this our first go-around with the NXT Cruiserweight title? I think it might be as well. So there you go. Elite 87 down below. Got the whole crew. We're unboxing all those on the channel this week. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and go back and check any of the ones you missed. You got his name up top, glamour shot. We got the blurb, Elite logo at the top. Let's see what it says in this blurb. Let's see what it says about old Santos Escobar. From Mexico City, Mexico, 204 pounds, 5'11", career highlight, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. After winning the new NXT Cruiserweight Championship tournament, El Hijo del Fantasma unmasked to reveal his true identity, the dangerous Santos Escobar. I don't know, I always thought that was really strange that he unmasked. I always feel like if you're going to unmask, you should lose a match to unmask. Is that just me? It doesn't happen very often, guys just decide to unmask. But I guess I'm not a huge Lucha Libre guy. I used to watch a lot of AAA back in college, but that was neither here nor there. But I don't remember a lot of guys just unmasking for the heck of it. Whenever they lost, there was a hair versus mask match, mask versus mask match, something like that. And usually that's when they'd unmask. So it was kind of strange when I saw him just unmask for the heck of it. I don't know, did that seem strange to you guys? Tell me in the comments. So there it is. Let's take it out of the package and check it out and see what all the fuss is about with old Santos Escobar. That background there, that blue background, we know it, we love it. We want some more of it. See you later. Now it sounds like WWE has big plans. I've read it in the sheets that they have big plans for this guy in the future. So we'll see if that holds true. What the heck? Okay. Plastic prison, there he is. Like I said, we got the mask, we got the hands. He is buckled in like crazy. Right at the crotch, too. I don't know if I've ever seen buckled in at the crotch. So that's an extra dangerous one to cut out, but got it right there. And then he's got two on the hands, and those are extremely hard to get to. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out here. Let's get this head out. baby. Come on, head. Come on out. Jeez. He's got a little bit of a mullet going on back there that locks him in. He's got two open hands that are open. It's because they're open hands. They're open. See if I can get it in here. This is a dangerous one to unbox. Come on. There it is. Holy cow. That was more work than I thought it was going to be. I'll tell you that much right there. See you later. We got little plastic pieces all over the place. This was the most dangerous unboxing of the set, I think, so far at least. So there it is. Put everything to the side here. We got two open hands. We've seen these open hands. I always call these the Ricochet hands. They're so big, but this is the first time I really remember seeing them was with Ricochet, so they'll always be Ricochet hands to me. Cruiserweight title belt here. What do we think? I like the silver. I like this one better than the purple one they had for a while. We got that one a lot with Rich Swann, and who else did we get that one with? Maybe that was it. And we got that old NXT one with a few, or the old Cruiserweight title with a few, but I like this NXT one. And like I said, I believe this is first time in the line for this one. So Elite 87 has two first time in the line belts, it looks like, with Apollo Crews, the United States title, and then the NXT Cruiserweight title. So a lot to like, especially you belt collectors out there. I could see people buying this for the belt, maybe not the figure. So there's always that option there. And then we get to the old Santos Escobar figure here. Let's see. A really good smirking grin on his face here. I like that one a lot. I'd be lying to say if Santos Escobar has stole my heart and never let go. He hasn't quite got there yet. I don't know if he'll ever get there, honestly. Maybe he has. Some of you guys. You guys can let me know in the comments. But I watch NXT. I watch all wrestling every single week. It's something I've done my entire life. So it's a bit of a chore sometimes. And a lot of times I'd be lying if I said I didn't have wrestling on in the background while I'm working, my day job and everything else. But it's just what do you got to do? I mean, there's a lot to keep up on between Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Dynamite, Impact, and all the other shows, the ancillary shows and everything else. So trying to stay on top of it all. I try to do it. But Santos Escobar definitely coming along in NXT. Part of a faction out there feuding with Swerve and his crew. So it's interesting times for Santos Escobar. I don't know. Is the mask better? I know WWE is not a big mask place. I don't know what they're thinking. Don't they know that people love, especially kids, they love masks. They love face paint. They love big figures, big wrestlers. They love bright, colorful tattoos. That's the way you get to somebody's heart. So they probably should have kept the mask on him, at least for a while. But that's neither here nor there, as I might say. But this one's all right. A smaller figure. Got some good tattoo work on him going on. Legado del Fantasma on the back. So that's the back of the trunks. That's what he was before he took the mask off. It's neat to get the feature of the mask and no mask. I can see some people, if you're a big fan, you definitely need two of these. You could have one displayed with the mask, one without the mask. There he goes. Head pops right off. How's this mask look? Well, I tell you, I like the mask look a lot. I think he looks pretty good. I don't know which way I'll display him. I guess it'll depend on that basic that's coming out. This head doesn't want to go in very good, but it's going to depend on that basic. I might use this one and have his basic, just a regular one, and then use this. There's going to be some kind of choose your own adventure going on there, but boy, that head is tough to get in there, and it does look a little high on the head. Maybe that's just me, but this figure definitely looks better, and I rarely ever say this. This could be the first time in my life I ever say this. It looks better with the regular head than the mask. I can't believe that. Usually the mask always wins, but not in this case. It just looks a little off. A little overspray from the mask, the white on the mask onto the hair too that is black, so that is a little ugly. I might have to get my razor blade out. Maybe I can scrape some of that off real quick. And nope, not going to happen. So a little overspray there, a little sloppiness on there. That's unfortunate, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one, but definitely the mask did not work for me. That's not my favorite. I can't believe I'm saying this, but like I said, it'll be interesting once that basic comes out. I think between that, you can choose some heads. I definitely have to have a mask representation in my collection somewhere of this guy, of old Santos. Does he fit on a ringside stand? Of course he probably will. RingsideCollectibles.com. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. Like I always say, spend your money on your figures, not your stands. Got some really good color on the boots down there as well. So there's some color to this one. Even though it looks pretty black when you just take a look at it, you look at the details, there's a little bit more color to this figure than you would think. So I appreciate that. And then how about we compare him to Andrade? You guys remember Andrade tearing up AEW right now. He seems to kind of be the answer to Andrade. I think WWE said, you know, we're cutting bait on Andrade. We're going all in on Santos Escobar. That's kind of the feeling I got. I remember reading somewhere that Santos had a better command of the English language, and that's what they felt was holding Andrade back. And I could see that a little bit. Andrade, it is a bit of a chore to listen to him talk sometimes on AEW as of late. I think it was a really smart move for them to ditch Vicky Guerrero as the mouthpiece. At least I hope they did. And add Chavo Guerrero's. We all love Chavo. Hopefully Pepe isn't far behind. But that means we might get a Chavo Guerrero AEW figure. I think that would be really cool. We could compare that to his Mattel one, which is a classic Mattel figure. One of the best Mattel figures ever, actually, that Chavo Guerrero. But I like him with Chavo over there in AEW. And we'll see where Santos goes. See if all that pressure, if he can rise like a phoenix and he can live up to the expectations of the WWE. He seems to have a very good command of the English language and all the stuff they're looking for. And they got him in prime spots on NXT as of right now. So we'll see where his future goes. Will his future be so bright he has to wear shades? Only time will tell. But between these two, this Andrade really was a better figure. They got that mask, kind of the rolled up mask that he can hold in his hand. Of course, you got the regular head sculpt with this one, and then you got the masked head just like this one. I like that a lot. But then they went one farther, and they gave us a soft goods jacket with him as well. So a lot of money in the tooling. I think we also got a title belt. Yep, we did get a title belt with him as well. So a lot to like about this Andrade figure. Verdict's still out on this one, on old Santos Escobar. We'll see what happens with the basics. Like I said, I think there could be some swapping between those basics to make the Ultimate figures. And maybe get an extra basic out there to mix some things. Or an extra Elite, I should say, to mix some things. We'll see how it goes. But there it is, Elite 87, Santos Escobar. So welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we continue unboxing WWE Elite 87. And today we're unboxing Otis. And Otis returned to the Elite lineup. A lot of people kind of shocked by this, but you guys know about a year ago, Otis Mania was running wild, and it's crazy how the tide has turned in his career, as now he's with Chad Gable, shaved his head, basically cut his hair real short, got rid of the beard, turned into a bad guy, more of a wrestling machine. Not totally against that, however, Otis was one of those guys that stole a lot of kids' hearts, including my daughter. She absolutely loved Otis, like a lot of kids out there as well, and I think that really is part of why she's gravitated away from wrestling a little bit. She saw what happened to Otis. Otis went away, changed. That was a character she really liked seeing and joking and laughing around with, and now he's gone. And Otis was very much like a young Hacksaw Jim Duggan is kind of what he reminded me back when I was a kid. That, you know, Hacksaw was really nobody. On the old schoolyard, the old playground, we always talk about it, especially in those Marvel Legends videos we talk about it. But wrestling works as well. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan was a guy we respected. We all respected the guy with the 2x4, but nobody on the playground, nobody said, you know, my favorite wrestler is that old Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He's my favorite. He was just a middle-of-the-road guy that would be there. He'd be around and stuff. And I felt like Otis was kind of in his wheelhouse. None of the kids really say that it's their favorite wrestler of all time or anything like that. But he was one the kids gravitated to and stuff like that. You'd always get the kids, you know, giving the old thumbs up for Hacksaw. And they would love Otis and stuff like that. And my daughter was kind of in that range as well. She loved seeing Otis out there. I don't know if she'd say he was her favorite wrestler ever, but she really enjoyed seeing him every week. A lot like a Hacksaw Jim Duggan back when I was a kid. I think that's a pretty good analogy, and if you got one, hey, put it in the comments. But Otis, an interesting one. Like I said, for all those reasons, now being kind of de-pushed and changed direction, all that, seems like a million years ago this Otis figure belonged in the lineup. But here we are right now, and it is August 2021, and nothing like Otis looks right now. So it'll be interesting if this one peg warms or how this one operates out there, because this seems like it was from 10 years ago, when it was really just a year ago. So very interesting at the top here, but we're going to do this like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, and we'll compare it to his other Elite of the past of Otis. And that was a hot seller, remember when that came out. But there it is, there's Otis. There it is, Otis at the bottom, Elite logo. We got that certified seal of approval. We got Otis in the package. We got 2 extra sets of hands, and then just like Arby's, he's got the meats. He's got his lunch pail full of meat. That'll be interesting. That's a new accessory for sure, I guarantee you that. WWE logo at the top. He does have his crop top shirt going on, so that's an interesting one as well. So there's a lot of accessories, a lot going on with this Otis. So we'll dive in. We'll dive in. On the side there, you got his little plastic prison of him in the ring. Got the Money in the Bank, of course. And this one, it's the Money in the Bank lunchbox, but not quite the Money in the Bank briefcase. I would have liked to see the briefcase in here as well. Is what it is. And there's Otis on the side. Just kind of has that look to him. Just, I don't know what's going on there. Looks a little bit like my father-in-law. Maybe a little bit. Just a little bit. There it is right there, Otis on the back. Get all the rest of Elite 87 down below, unboxing those on the channel this week, so make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, you'll want to see all those reviews. We got the blurb for Otis we're going to read here in a second. Let's see what it says. From Superior, Wisconsin. Back in my days when I used to call on Walmart, I believe Walmart had a big distribution center up there in Superior, or at least a place where they sent stuff. It might have been freezer storage, but I could be wrong. But that's when I hear Superior, that's what I think of. And now I think of Otis. Weight 330 pounds, 5'10". Oh yeah, like a young Kool-Aid man. Otis' win at Money in the Bank stimulated his appetite. See what they did there? For victory so much, he unveiled his Money in the Bank lunchbox. So there you go. You got to get those stakes in whenever you can. I feel bad for Otis too, because I don't think he really ever got to defend his Money in the Bank for a title shot. It was really a weird storyline where The Miz ended up stealing it away from him and all that kind of stuff. Very, very strange. But yeah, it is what it is. So let's unbox it. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know what happened to Otis in his career. Where did he get derailed? There it is. See you later. I don't know if they didn't like his size or what, but man, his water was cut off, as one wise man would say. That's exactly what happened. There he is in the plastic prison. Like I said, a lot going on in this package. A lot going on. Extra hands. We got 2 fists. We got 2 open hands. Then we got 2 heavy metal hands. Drew McIntyre hands, as I like to call them. And then, of course, the lunchbox of doom. Like a young Arby's, he's got the meats. Funny story about Arby's. I was on my way home from Minneapolis. We went on a little family vacation. We went to SmackDown and everything. We stopped in the middle of nowhere. There was this big gas station. Had to fill up. And you know what? They had an Arby's there. We were all hungry and went to lunch. We went up to Arby's, and guess what? They were out of French fries, and they were also out of roast beef. And I just kind of looked at them. I said, you guys are known for roast beef. How are you out of roast beef? And they just looked at me and they said, you know what, Kyle? And they knew I had a name tag on. They said, you know what, Kyle? We don't have the meats. And I said, obviously not. So I got a drink and I left. I didn't eat. That's what happened. Who'd have thought? What a crazy story on Arby's. There it is. All right, get these hands out. There's one. I don't know if anybody needed all these hands for Otis. I don't know. See you later. But there's Otis. There's a lot to like in this working man Otis. I like the soft, good shirt, the crop top, working man Otis on it. On his butt, he's got working man Otis too on the back of his trunks. And we got the old Heavy Machinery logo right down. A little knowledge to his old buddy Tucker. Forgotten guy in the whole grand scheme of things. It's sad what happened to Tucker. He got Marty Jannetty faster than most people do. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows on this one. He does have that dreaded painted on knee pad, which does look very strange. Yeah, it does look strange. We don't see that very often, but I think, yeah, we did get that in his last Elite. We'll compare that one in a second. I do like the face on this one. He does got that kind of, like he smelled something putrid, like he was with Mean Gene when he was interviewing the Bushwhackers back in the day and got a whiff of those sardines. That's kind of what he looks like. But Otis looks like a guy that might partake in some sardines. Which brings me to another story. One time when I was young, and I was just starting off my working career, I was starting on the Walmart team. I was dealing with ConAgra Foods is who I was working through, and you guys that know ConAgra, you know ConAgra, home of the Slim Jim and a lot of other things. And I remember we were, no, it was Hormel, and I also represented Hormel as well. And Hormel had Pickles Pig Feet, and my boss at the time was from northern Wisconsin. I don't know why I got on this story, but he went from northern Wisconsin. He came down to visit me and said, Kyle, why do we not have these displays of Pickles Pig's Feet in all your Walmarts? And you should also have pickled eggs as well. Those would be a great display piece. And I said, nobody in this state is eating pickled pig's feet out of a jar. It just doesn't happen here. He told me up in northern Wisconsin, they're on every end cap up there, because up in northern Wisconsin, everybody loves their pickled pig's feet. And I'll never forget that story. And I never did sell a Pickles Pig Feet display because I couldn't look a manager in the eye and say, hey, what do you think about that? And they said, yeah, how about we get like something that actually sells? Because most of the country I don't think sells real well on the Pickles Pig's Feet. But you guys tell me if I'm wrong there. But anyways, back to crazy stuff. And that kind of goes all around because he's from Wisconsin. So I think he might dabble in the sardines. He might dabble in the pickled pig's feet. I wouldn't be shocked. Otis looks like a guy that would dabble in those. He is the working man's Otis after all. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? You know he's gonna. RingsideCollectibles.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Spend your money on your figures, not your stands. Not sure what hands I want to use. Do I want to use like the crazy maniac hands for him? The Spider-Man hands. Do we need fists? You guys know I love fists on my wrestling figures. He does have the meats here, so this lunchbox does fold and open, so that is neat. There's some playability here. I like that a lot. I think the meat, it does come out. It looks like popsicles, kind of. But yeah, it's meats in there. I don't know if it's supposed to be beef jerky or what. I don't really recall him bringing a lunch pail full of raw meat. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed that episode somewhere along the line, but I guess it does kind of fit in his hand. Not really. So I don't know. I don't know what you do with this. I think you leave the meats in the box here, but they can be removed and this can be closed if you choose your own adventure that way. And then of course you can hold that. I guess that's what these gripping hands are for. He can hold his lunch pail. He's a hard-working man. You know, my grandpa used to bring a lunch pail. He was a professional welder for many years, and he would have a lunch pail every day, and he'd have some of that bologna. We're back to the food stuff. He'd have that Hormel bologna you'd buy in the peg grounds. I used to sell that stuff, too, back in the day. Young Kyle, cutting his teeth, learning the ropes. Y'all got to start at the bottom, work your way to the top. Pro tip. Pro tip. Don't try to ask for the moon right at the beginning. You got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues on the road. That's what you got to do. And he reminds me of my grandpa here, grabbing his lunch pail, getting his little thermos there, and you know, a couple pieces of bread and a couple of slices of bologna, and man, he's got himself a day on the welding, and that's kind of what the hard-working man Otis is up to. So not a bad figure. I got to think this will be definitely this is our last go-around with Elite-wise Otis and this kind of persona type thing. If we do get a new Elite Otis, you've got to think it's going to be a Chad Gable type inspired. And I'm not even sure if they'll invest into the Elites of those two. At least at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Showdown 2-pack basic first out of those. It's a possibility. We'll see where that ends up going. But here's the first round of Otis. Similar but different. I guess it's the same exact head. Same exact head. I was thinking it was different. We got the same exact hands. A lot of reuse going on here. A lot of reuse, which makes sense. Otis is a different body type mold. You're not going to make a lot of different molds there. I would have loved to see a more updated head, though, between them. But with him having these two hands on here, that's how I have it displayed. I feel like I'm going to have to mix up. I'm going to have to give him a fist or something else on this hand. Probably keep this one hand to hold the lunchbox. I think that makes a lot of sense. But it's a good version of Otis right before the fall, I guess we would say. He's rising again. I feel like him and Chad Gable are finally picking up a little bit of steam. At least I hope so. I think there's something there with Otis. He's kind of had even a little bit of Vader's moveset as of late, which I don't hate that because I love me some Vader, of course. So I think if he incorporates some of that, we know he's got personality. Hopefully he can work with Chad Gable and they can figure this thing out, and hopefully he rises like the Phoenix and gets back to where he was before. It's kind of like you bring him to the top, then you take him back down and make them work their way back up again. I think that's where Otis is right now. Unfortunately, lost my daughter along the way, and I think probably lost a few other fans as well. So we'll see what happens with Otis in the future. But I can say pretty confidently this is our last Otis Elite. Definitely in 2021 and possibly 2022. But we'll see what happens. But there it is, Otis Elite 87. Everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we continue unboxing Mattel WWE Elite 87. And today on the channel, we're unboxing Braun Strowman. An interesting one is Braun Strowman in the last month or so recently released from his WWE contract. So one would assume, at least for now, this is the final Braun Strowman Elite figure we are getting for quite some time. Mixed bag there. You know, it's sad when anybody loses their job, especially when they don't want to. It'll be interesting to see where Braun Strowman takes his career from here, but we have had a bit of Braun Strowman figure overload. Not a ton of changes in Braun Strowman's character and his looks throughout the Elite line, the Top Picks line, all that kind of stuff. But thankfully, we got this final Braun Strowman where I think before it might have been somewhat of a peg warmer in Elite 87. Now I do think people will be clamoring to get the last one. And the nice thing we got here is we got the first bald Braun Strowman figure. So it's kudos to Mattel, or I guess it's the luck of the draw really at this point. Then we got this version of Braun on his way out. We also got the camouflage shirt he was wearing, so there is some points of difference here, and there's enough meat on the bone for, I think, people that have all the Elite Braun Strowmans of the past, like myself included, that you might need this one as well. So an interesting dynamic here with this figure, and it really turns the tables on what might have been the peg warmers of this set, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see how hard he is to get eventually. But we're going to do it like we normally do in these reviews. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. And we'll compare it to an Elite Braun Strowman figure of the past as well. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the packaging. There it is. We got the True Effects logo right up top. We got the WWE logo, of course. The white and blue background packaging that we're used to. Certified authentic WWE merchandise. No confusing this one. If you don't have that seal, you're in big trouble. It's a bootleg, or you're in Canada or Europe where they don't have the seal. To choose your own adventure, I guess. Braun Strowman logo, name down below. Elite logo, of course, right there. Does he have fists? Of course he has fists. Once again, you should have fists on all your wrestlers. Come on, Jazzwares. Give us some more fists in the line. Mattel doing it right. We're getting fists here. Braun Strowman right there, ready for a beard competition. He's ready to go. Shaving that hair, gave up on it. Sometimes you got to do. Sometimes you got to grow your hair long. Sometimes you got to shave it. Not too many of us are in the middle. Maybe the majority's in the middle, actually. There's Braun on the side. A little glamour shot, walk into the ring. I believe that's his WrestleMania attire, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm sure it'll say on the back if it is. Then you got the back of the package, of course. You got the rest of the lineup down below from Elite 87. We'll be unboxing every single one on the channel, so make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss any of them. That's for sure. And then you got the glamour shot that we saw on the side, the Elite logo up top. Braun Strowman, his name, and then we got a blurb, and we're going to get down to it. We're going to see what's going on in this blurb down here. From Cheryl's Ford, North Carolina. Beautiful this time of year. Absolutely gorgeous. Maybe not, because I've never been there. I've never even heard about it besides with his name. But if you live there, you live close to there, you can tell me in the comments what it's like. I believe Braun Strowman, didn't he move up to like Wisconsin? Didn't he buy like a farm up in Wisconsin? He's not too far from me. I might see him when I'm out on the open road one of these days. We'll see. Weight 385 pounds, 6'8". He's a big guy, same height as my dad. So there you go. My dad's also 6'8". So we'll gotta get those two together and see who really is 6'8". Career highlight: Universal Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Raw Tag Team Champion. A terrifying combination of power, speed, and athleticism. When the Strowman Express leaves the station, you better get off the tracks. And that really goes for any train. If there's a train coming, if you're on foot or in a car, I recommend you get off the train tracks. Pro tip of the day. Take that one to the bank. Free advice from your old buddy Kyle. All right, let's get down to it. Let's see what all the fuss is about with this Braun Strowman. There's the old blue background. We love it. We know it. See you later. Plastic Prison. He is a heavier figure. Most of these Mattel figures aren't overly heavy, but you can tell there's a little bit more weight to him because he is a big figure. And you know what people say about big figures? They love them. That's what they say. So we just got the soft goods jacket. We got extra hands here. Oh my gosh, we're buckled in at the wrist. Gotta get the old trusty knife out. Hopefully I don't cut my finger off. If you guys watch those Star Wars unboxings, I always say on those Star Wars ones, they're about a lot more than Star Wars. There's a lot of pro tips in those videos, but I did cut my finger pretty bad in one of those videos, so you never know. You never know when you might cut your finger off. And I always said, if I ever cut my finger off, I vow to stay through the video. I'll deal with the blood after, and that's exactly what I did in that Star Wars video. I hung out and hung through it. So there you go. All right, Strowman, let's get these hands out of here. Let's get this jacket. And there it is. See you later. Up high. Oh, we got this little one. See you later. Boom, off the screen. There it is. We got two open hands. I love the options here, but you know me, I'm going all fists. Fists of Fury on Braun Strowman, that's what I'm putting down, but we did get extra hands if you need them. Pretty cool soft goods little vest going on here, a little camouflage action. I could see people using this for something else. Maybe use this on your Apollo cruise. Didn't Apollo wear a little camouflage for a little bit? Maybe I'm dreaming. Just recently I thought he did, but I'm sure there's people you could use this on. It looks like Braun went to his local Army surplus store and said, I want your best, finest jacket that you got here for surplus. And he bought it, cut the sleeves off, and the rest truly was history. All right, let's get down to the business on this Braun, though. I do love him with both fists. It just makes him seem meaner, bigger, badder. I like the expression on his face. Once again, True Effects, I think, works okay on this one. Gosh, these elbow joints, they're double jointed. I do love that. We got double jointed knees as well, so that's a step into the future, I guess. But man, they are extremely tough. You got to really push to kind of break the plastic. They're kind of freed to free them a little bit. I am concerned that I might push and just break the arm off one of these days. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this one's going to need like heated up or something. Wow, that is not moving. And you know, you just don't want to put too much pressure on it because you could turn into big trouble and break your figure. We don't want that for sure. Let's stick this coat on. This jacket looks pretty easy. I don't know what to think about this jacket, though. I guess he did wear it. We saw it on the glamour shot. I think he wore it in WrestleMania, didn't he? I better put this one on because I can't adjust the arm just yet. I'm going to have to heat it up with some hot water or the hair dryer, I think. I always like the heated water method to loosen joints. I always think it's a lot safer than a hairdryer. I remember the first time I learned that trick, I used the hairdryer and it just melted my figure because I stuck it on there too long. So strongly recommend the water. I don't know, he doesn't look the best with this jacket on. It looks a little goofy, but it's all right. I'll display him this way because that's how he came. That's how we know this figure. But man, we aren't getting this arm to move. That's kind of bugging me. I don't know, I'll get it fixed, I guess. But I do like this jacket on him. It looks a little goofy, but it is a point of difference, and I like it because we've got so many Braun figures over the year. Yes, this is our first Braun with a bald head. I do appreciate that, but this coat jacket does give him another point of differentiation from some of the other ones, and I'll grab one. Not even sure which one this is. We've had so many Brauns. This very well could be a top pick Braun Strowman, if I remember right. I might be wrong on that, too. I don't know. It's a Braun Strowman Elite. We do know that. So, similar but different, as usual. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? I always say it. Use discount code Kyle. Save 10%. Spend your money on your figures, not your stands. My favorite stands in the game. There it is. Got these next to each other. They're the same height. Looks like, well, I guess he lost the hair, so he lost just maybe an inch. But there it is between those two. I definitely like something different here with this Braun. It's nice to get something different. And like I said earlier at the top of the video, I think we'll see this Braun move off the shelf pegs a little faster than if he was still in the WWE. Just because it's his last figure, and I think some collectors out there will know, hey, this is my last chance at a Braun Strowman. It also helps he does get the soft goods jacket and bald head. I think that helps this figure as well. So I do think this will be better than prior Braun Strowmans, as we really have had Braun Strowman overload the last couple of years figures. Between the basics, the 2-packs, everything else under the sun, we've had a lot of Braun Strowmans. I think we'd all admit that. But this one's not too bad. There's a lot of nice piping on the side of the legs here. You can actually feel it on the side there. So that is kind of nice. There is a lot to like about this figure. This figure is better than expected. We always talk about better than expected on the channel. That we love it, because anytime our expectations are exceeded in figure form, it always makes that money worth it just that much more. So I do like this Braun Strowman. I probably would have went anything, and this would be one of my least favorites. And you guys know at the end of the week, I'll put them in order from my favorite to least favorite. And like I said, this one might have been at the bottom end for me. Who knows where it might end up? I don't know. I've definitely had worse figures than this, and of course we've had better. But a solid Braun Strowman, especially if you don't have a Braun Strowman. And I think a lot of us collectors out there, you need this version of Braun Strowman because it's his last incarnation in the WWE. So I don't think you can go wrong picking this one up. And worst case scenario, you can use this jacket for a custom or another wrestler out there that used it in the past. So there you go. So there it is, Elite 87 Braun Strowman. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Elite Mattel unboxing. And of course, we're doing unboxings of Mattel Elite 87 this week. And today we've got a triumphant return to the Elite line, and we're talking about Asuka. And Asuka has not been in an Elite line for a long time. Has it been 2 years, maybe even more than that? I think her last Elite figure, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments below. I believe it was the Target exclusive network Spotlight Asuka. I believe that was her last Elite figure. Very well could have been her last figure in general. I don't know if she had a basic 2-pack along the way, somewhere in between. But it's been a while since we've had an Asuka, and I think a lot of that goes to all the colors in her outfits and stuff. She's a very toyetic character. But with toyetic comes extra cost, and I think maybe they didn't want to dive into the extra cost that it would cost to make this figure. She would be one that is screaming for an Ultimate Edition. Imagine if you got a nice soft goods coat with her, a couple extra heads, all kinds of stuff you could do with her. But once again, that would be a very costly figure. And we know female figures, nothing against the female wrestlers, but we see it in my figure hunting videos every single Friday. We see a predominantly amount of female figures on the pegs, be it AEW, be it Mattel, etc. So I don't know how well that Ultimate Edition figure would sell, but hey, I'm here for it if they want to put it out there. I'd pick it up, and probably you guys would as well. But we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it, and we'll see where it goes from there. And we'll compare her to the network Spotlight version of Asuka. So there it is. We know this packaging. We've seen it in Elite 87. We've seen it this year. Be interesting to see what the next round of packaging looks like. I'm ready for it. This one was an okay one. That certified seal really threw a lot of people, myself included, off. It just always kind of is an eyesore there. I wish they could do something different. Maybe we'll see something different in 2022. You got the True Effects logo there. She's got extra hands. She's got her mask. Very colorful outfit on Asuka this go around. Of course, you got her name. You got the Elite logo down below. And you got Asuka on the side. Some might say looking only like she can look. And guess what? She's got face paint. That usually helps sales a little bit. So I'm sure she'll move just fine. And I do think, you know, I give the women wrestlers a hard time for peg warming. You would think at this point Asuka would move fairly faster. You know, she's had a pretty good run over the last year or so. It's been a long time since she has got a figure. I'm sure there's a lot of new collectors and new kids in the game that don't have her old ones. So for some people, this is a first time in the line Asuka. So I do think that will help sales on her figure. At least I hope it does. There she is, looking only like she can look. Looking like she's about ready to steal our heart and never let go, but I'm not quite there yet. Maybe getting there soon. We'll see. We got the rest of Elite 87 down below. We're unboxing all those on the channel this week, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the old notification bell, all that fun stuff. And we got the blurb. We got to read the blurb. We got to read the tail of the tape, all that fun stuff. Got a little glamour shot of her right there. Also says, empowering the next generation through play. We've been seeing that on the Masters of the Universe figures and other Mattel figures out there. So that's their new tagline, I guess they're adding here. Asuka from Osaka, Japan. Beautiful year-round in Osaka, I've heard. Never been there, but I've heard it. Finisher, the Asuka lock. Height, 5'3". Career highlight, Raw Women's Champion. SmackDown Women's Champion. Women's Tag Team Champion. Just run the gamut of women's titles. The Empress of Tomorrow's punishing offense strikes fear into the entire WWE Women's division. Which is why no one is ready for Asuka. Well, are we ready to unbox this? I hope we are, because that's what we're doing right now. We're going to unbox it. We're going to get down to business. We're going to see what's going on. There it is. See you later. The rare behind the back see you later. We don't get those very often. Once in a blue moon. You're lucky you're here for it. There she is in the old plastic prison. It looks like she's buckled in at the wrist for whatever reason. We got two open hands with her. No fisted hands with that Asuka, but I won't hold it against her. So yeah, there you go. Plastic prison. I don't know about this head sculpt. I'm drinking that in right now. And boy, that's something. That's something. We're gonna have to investigate this a little bit closer. I'm not sure what to think about this head sculpt on her here. Got the two open hands. Pop her out. Whoa. See you later. All right, are we ready for this? Are we ready for Asuka? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we are. We got a weird elbow. Okay, I'm getting her all straightened out here. Something's not firing right for me on her. Very strange. Okay, we'll get back to it. So we got two hands here. Got two slapping hands. She doesn't need fists. She's throwing slaps. She's trying to keep it legal. As we all know, fists are illegal. I guess she's keeping it legal. So we got two fists with her. Throw that over there. All right, I'm soaking it in here, and I do see a little paint flaw here. Maybe I can get my razor blade, and I can maybe get this off. Yeah, maybe not. I was hoping it would be just an easy little... Oh, maybe. Oh, I did. Oh, yeah, I got it off. She had a big pink over her eye. It must have been paint from the hair. It fell over, and I actually just scraped it off with that razor blade. So, clean that face up a little bit. Still a little piece there. I don't know what to think about this head sculpt. I mean, this looks really... I don't know. I mean, she's got a smiling face on here, which is nice, and she's got the face paint, you know... But boy, it looks like something almost out of a horror movie. I'm not sure if it's supposed to look that way. She was a face, a good guy during this time. But she does look a little bit scary here. And I don't know if it's the true effects being off a little bit on the eyes that make it look a little more demonic. She almost looks like the girl from The Ring or something. I don't know if that's right either. But definitely look a little scary here. Single jointed elbows, no double jointed action on this one. It looks like this arm is just a little weird. I guess it's the right arm. It just, something seems off here, and I don't know what it is. She is a smaller figure. I don't know. A lot of colors to this one, but predominantly black, so not overly colorful like Asuka normally is. Not a ton of color to this one. She does come with her mask. I don't even know what the official title for this mask would be. I don't know exactly what they're called. I don't know if it's a kabuki mask or not. That seems awfully generic, but... She does come with that. I believe that pegs in, hopefully. Yeah, just like ones from the past, except mine has a little bit of a bend to it, unfortunately, so I might have to heat that up or mold it back in place, but she does have her mask that can come off. We've seen that in the past. The Network Spotlight we're going to talk about will show that as well, but at least it's a different mask. I do appreciate that. They could have very easily just said, hey, we're just going to give her the same mask every single time. They gave us something a little bit different here, so that is cool. Let's see here. Put her on a ringside collectible stand. I say it all the time. Spend your... Uh-oh, just dropped it. Spend your money on your figures, not your stands. RingsideCollectibles.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save 10%. And, of course, she fits on that stand right there. Put her there. We're going to grab the Network Spotlight Asuka. See what the difference. A lot more going on here. A lot more colorful figure with the Network Spotlight. This was a Target exclusive a few years back. She does come with that extra mask, just like this one, but she also comes with this kind of gladiator crazy helmet. Just missing her soft goods robe here, and obviously that's an expensive piece. But it looks like it's the same body being used, all that kind of stuff. This one does have that kind of female torso wobble that you get with some of the female figures. I'm sure you guys have seen this. They got like a little bobblehead to it. This does not have that, however. So there's some kind of change there with the female figures. This does feel different, even though it looks the same. I don't know. I wish we got a fisted hand, but we don't always get the fisted hands. We can't always get what we want with our figures, but this one's okay. I don't think it'll be anywhere near my favorite of Elite 87. I do like the colorfulness to it. I love face paint. You know I'm a sucker for face paint, but I like my face paint more on my male wrestlers. I don't know what that's about. I don't know, but this is an okay figure. I don't even think it's the best Asuka figure, unfortunately. This is probably my favorite Asuka figure as right now. I'd really like to get a soft goods coat for Asuka. I think that would really take her figures to the next level. Maybe you have to reach out to a third party and get that one of these days. I'm not so sure. I'd really love Mattel to step up to the plate and do that. Maybe a Ringside Collectibles exclusive or something along those lines. We'll wait and see what the future holds for Asuka, but this one, Elite 87, it's okay. Not going to be at the top of my list. Most likely at the bottom, but like I said, stay tuned for the end of the week where I'll do a ranking video where I'll rank the entire set from my favorite to my least favorite. So there it is, Elite 87 Asuka here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Elite unboxing and review. And today, we've got that old Poison Pixie. Yes, you heard me right, Poison Pixie. WWE Elite 87, first time in the line. Candice Lerae. Candice finally getting her own figure. One of the stalwart female figures of NXT, as you guys are aware. She is also married to Johnny Gargano. Johnny's had a couple of figures already, so we're going to compare at the end of the video. We'll definitely compare and put Johnny next to her, just for the memories, just to have those two together in figure form. So let's see how that looks. But we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it, and we'll see where it goes from there. Like I said, we'll compare it to the Johnny Gargano, and we'll also compare it to her female counterpart in Elite 87. We'll compare it to Asuka. So we'll have to take a look at all that together at the end. But there it is. There's the packaging for her. We know this white packaging very well with the blue background. You got Candice Lerae at the bottom there. Certified Authentic right above her name there. That seal of approval. The Elite logo along with a Glamour shot. The True Effects logo and the WWE logo at the top. And of course, Elite 87 at the top. An interesting figure here. I'm not sure what to think about this one. This one's going to be a really interesting unboxing as it looks like we've got some new molds going on here. I don't know if Candice was done justice here, and I would have loved to have had a face Candice LeRae back when she was a good guy in NXT. I'd love to have that figure more than this kind of Poison Pixie persona. Maybe that's just me, but I would like one of each at least, so maybe they'll go back. I'm sure she'll turn into a good guy once again. She's got to, right? I think the way is going the way of the dodo, as I believe they are probably breaking up. I was at SmackDown a week ago. Austin Theory wrestled dark match, and as did Indy Hartwell, the two other members of the Way. So I think they're being called up soon. So I got to think the Way is on the way out. But who knows? We'll wait and see. There's a Glamour shot on the side, Elite logo on the bottom. An in-ring Glamour shot there, an Elite logo on the bottom. And then, of course, the back of the packaging. We got the rest of Elite 87 down below. Of course, stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell as we're unboxing all those on the channel. As well, at the end of the week, we'll rank them all in order of my favorite to least favorite. And we'll see where Candice LeRae shows up in that ranking system. We got the Glamour shot there. You got her name. And we got the blurb classified onto the side. And we'll read that right now. Let's see what it says. From Riverside, California, finisher the Quebrada. Quebrada? I'm sure I know it if I saw it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head when you say that Quebrada name. I don't know. 5'2", which puts her an inch smaller than Asuka. So that'll be an interesting comparison there to see how the heights are, because she's a 1 inch smaller than Asuka. After years of getting nowhere, playing nice. Well, I wouldn't say that. I remember she met my daughter when she was little at an NXT show, and she was very nice. I think she got somewhere with my daughter. So there you go. The Poison Pixie reinvented herself, embraced her dark side, and set her sights on the NXT Women's Championship. And it's funny, just a little darker makeup and a change of hair color, and all of a sudden you're a bad guy. That's all it takes these days. So there you go. All right, let's get Candice out of the package. Let's see what's doing here. Get that blue background. We've seen that before. See you later. Whoa, knocking things over. You got to be careful with those see you laters. They can damage things. I don't know. I'm drinking this one in. She is double handcuffed in, so we're going to have to cut her out. Quite the entrance jacket with her here, and she has 2 extra hands as well. Little plastic prison. I do like, there's some things I like and some things I do not like about this one, so it'll be interesting here how this nets out. Let's pop those hands out. Let's pop this jacket out without destroying it, hopefully. Boy, this is an interesting... How does this come out? There we go. Okay. 2 separate pieces. You gotta be careful with that jacket on the unboxing. That's all you want to do is rip that jacket. Gonna cut her hands out. Hopefully not cut my hands off while I'm cutting her hand out, but we'll see. If it bleeds, it bleeds. There it is. See you later. Goodbye. All right, old Candice here. Let's get down to it. Let's see what's going on here. No fists with Candice. She has 2 slapping hands, so she's ready for a slap fight with Asuka. Asuka also had 2 slapping hands. We got 2 open hands, hand-holding hands. Hands are hands. We've seen them before. This entrance jacket is pretty cool looking, however. It's Polly Pocket style down at the bottom. I didn't know that until I got it out of the package. But these big wings on the end, that's quite the show there. It looks almost something like out of She-Ra. That's what it reminds me of. As you guys have seen as of late, I got the Masters Universe collection. I was inventorying my She-Ra figures, something 7-year-old Kyle would just laugh at. He would say, "Are you kidding me, Kyle? You're getting She-Ra figures in your early 40s? Is that what you're really doing?" And young Kyle would laugh at Kyle all day. And, you know, I can't blame him. Can't blame him. That young Kyle was a smart kid. He was a smart kid, let me tell you. But I do like that jacket. That jacket is a nice touch. That is definitely new tooling, new everything. I like that a lot. Now we get down to the Candice figure. And this is an interesting one. Now, I do like the hair on here. Once again, very She-Ra inspired. We had some crazy color hair in the She-Ra stuff. No double jointed knees, no double jointed elbows here. Unfortunately, the right ankle is extremely loose on mine. Very extremely loose. So I do not like that at all. At all. I don't like it at all. Does not have the wiggly torso, though, that we see in female figures. I do like the open hands on her. I feel that does work. I don't know about this head sculpt on her. True effects, it goes both ways. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's really bad. It's rarely in the middle. This one's more towards the bad. I think the scan's just a little bit off. She's got a little bit shifty eyes here. She looks like she's been on a plane sleeping for days, and she finally got off, and Johnny said, "Candice, we're here, we're landing, get up." And she's like, "Well, where am I? Oh, what's going on?" That's kind of what she looks like here. But the paint applications are all good here. That ankle really bothers me. I'm going to have to do some work on that. There's that quickie stuff. I've talked about it on the channel before. It kind of helps the joint toughen up. It kind of gives a layer. You can also use shoe polish, or not shoe polish, floor polish, pledge and stuff like that. I've never done that, but I know some people swear that it works. I believe these are new boot molds for her, for female. I remember Eric Young's figure back in the day had kind of that big toe boot mold. So we do got a little new invention here. The only thing about this one is, yes, she is very small. She is 5'2". We found that out in the bio on the back. They make her look like a munchkin. No offense to munchkins out there. You know, Wizard of Oz. I don't know if any of those munchkins are still alive out there, but if they are, don't come for me. I don't need any 90-year-old munchkins coming after me. But she does look a little bit like a little person. And I guess she is. I don't know what classifies people as a little person. I think it used to be like 4'10". But, you know, she's 5'2". She's close to that line. She's closer to one than not being one, I guess we'll say. But I feel like the body properties are kind of off a little bit. The legs are a little squatty. Is that just me? I mean, she is very small, but very skinny, too. I think they made her legs and just a little thicker than maybe she needed to be. And I think there's some new moldings going on here. Also, I guess that turns there. Gosh, this ankle feels like it's just going to fall off. I hope it doesn't break and fall off. That's all I need. You'll see this thing go across the floor, and I'll be throwing it across the room. I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it. So I don't know. It's not going to be at the top of my list. Possibly the bottom of the list, but I'm not totally sure. What is that? She's got these 3 dots on her shoulder. I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not, but that looks a little strange too. But let's get Johnny Gargano out here. We'll compare these two, have them next to each other. This was the Fan Takeover Johnny Gargano, Amazon exclusive Wolverine attire. I like this one a lot. I'm a big Wolverine fan, so of course I do. But then let's put her next to Elite 87 Asuka here and get a... You know what? They did it. Mattel did it. Those crazy guys at Mattel, they did it. You know what? I never would have believed it, but they did. So Asuka is just a hair taller than Candice, so that makes sense. They're sticking with the heights. I mean, it's close, but she's a hair taller, and that's what it should be. She's 5'3", she's 5'2". I like that a lot. I just think this Candice looks a little squatty. Is squatty a word? That's just what it looks like to me. It's just a little squatty, but it's still not terrible. This entrance jacket does bring it up a couple of notches. There's a lot to like and a lot to be questioned about, and I don't know, I'm somewhere in the middle. This is one of those ones you got to let marinate. You know, at the end of the week, we'll do our rankings. I'm not sure where it'll sit, but this is one of those ones I might rank low, and then 6 months later, if I had to do the list over, it might rank higher. It almost feels like a Kenny Omega Series 4 AEW. For some reason, I didn't like that one right at the beginning. It was towards the end of my list. If I had to redo that list now, it would be higher. It's just got to kind of marinate with you. And I don't know, something about that Kenny, and I get that same feeling with this Candice Lerae. As of right now, it's not my favorite, but it might grow on me a little bit. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but play along. Pretend like you do. Pretend like you do. But it's okay. It is okay for what it is. You can see it compared to Asuka. I think the height is correct. You can see her next to Johnny Gargano. That height looks correct. So there is some things like that. If she was out of scale, if she was the same size as Asuka or taller than Asuka, then we'd have some big problems. But Mattel got this scale right. And like I said, this entrance jacket does take it up a notch or so, as they really spent some time tooling these wings on the back here and going all out there. And I guess they should. She's part of the elite squad now. She's one of the go-to figure experts in the WWE canon out there that Mattel uses. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to being a member of the Mattel Elite Squad. Does anybody on that Elite Squad have every single Elite figure ever made? Come on, you guys tell me that. Steve, Bill, put me on the Elite Squad. What's it going to take to put me on the Elite Squad? Can I at least get a sticker that says Elite Squad member? Maybe one day. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But there it is, Elite 87, Candice LeRae, and joined by Asuka and Johnny Gargano. All right, here it is. It's the end of the video. It's time to rank Elite 87 from Mattel, from my favorite to my least favorite. And this one was actually a very tough set. As a whole, Elite 87 doesn't have anything that totally bowls you over. There's no first time in the line superstar, even though we got two first time in the lines figures here, but it's not some of the biggest names first time, I guess we would say. We've got some old favorites and some gimmicks that have passed by, some wrestlers that have been released, of course, and then just a lot of change, a lot of turmoil in this set. So it's really nothing. And then once again, there's no legend in here that really bowls you over that. Like, oh my gosh, there's a big time legend first time in the line or something like that along them lines. So Elite 87 is really a weird transitional series is what it feels like. And very hard to post a favorite in these. Every one of these figures has flaws to it. There's some stuff to like about some of these, and there's some stuff not to like about some of these. So it's really an interesting set and a very hard one to rank. They're all very close. I mean, from the top to the bottom, very close, in my opinion. I'm interested to hear your guys' opinion in the comments down below. You guys let me know your order as well, but I'll kick it off. Let's do my order. And a total shocker being number one here, I'm putting Braun Strowman at number one. Maybe part of that is because it's his last Elite figure. I do like we got the bald head. I do like this extra jacket we got with him. I love the jeans or the pants, whatever you want to call them. Some of the riveting on it and stuff is really next level. And of course, you guys know I'm a sucker for a big figure, and that's what Braun Strowman is. So he came in at number one for me, and I would have never guessed that in 1 million years looking at the set from where we started. But there it is. He's number one. Number two, another sleeper, and this goes back to what I said kind of at the top of this ranking part, is gimmicks past that have passed by and we don't do them anymore and they've moved on, and that's what Otis is. It's cool to get Otis back in the line. I guess it represents an era of Otis. It really feels like a flashback figure when it was just roughly a year ago. This was Otis's gimmick. He's come a long way in a year. It's really cool to get this Money in the Bank. One of the first time we've got meat in a lunchbox in the Mattel lineup, so that is something different. Just that final version of Otis when he won Money in the Bank. And I told my Otis story in the video, so you can watch that video if you want and hear about my history with Otis and my daughter being a really big fan of Otis. So it's cool that this was represented. It'll be interesting if we get future Otises in the Elite lineup in his Chad Gable Alpha Academy gear. But it's really a moment in the time with this Otis. And once again, I love a big figure. I love meats, of course. And I love a good lunchbox. So he came in at number two. Once again, a surprise for me. Santos Escobar coming in at number three. I really felt that this might be my favorite one of the set, but just it needs a little more color. The extra head of the mask really didn't blow my socks off, knock my socks off like I thought it would. just kind of in the middle. It'll be interesting when the basic versions of him and his crew come out, and we'll see if there's some mixing and matching and some playability there that maybe I'll like this one a little bit more. Maybe it'll look better when he has two guys in suits behind him. Maybe that'll make this one move up the line for me in the future, as this is just kind of, right now, I just unboxed all these. These are first thoughts, first impressions. We've seen in the past where guys that have been at the bottom, if I had to redo the line, I might put them higher. This one, these guys are all jumbled together. That might happen in the future here. But Santos, I like the extra head idea with the mask, but not, I don't know, maybe I just don't connect to this character quite yet. That could be part of it as well. We did get the NXT Cruiserweight title with him for the first time, so that is a cool feature there for you belt collectors out there as well. Next one, this was one I was probably the most excited about in the series at number 4 for me, but it just didn't quite hit the mark. Just looks a little bit too munchkin-y, if that is a word, but just a little bit in the legs. Something misses me here, and of course that ankle, which hopefully you guys don't have the ankle issue I have, but she has an extremely loose ankle, like it could almost fall off. It's that loose. Just the makeup and the scan just is off a little bit. Once again, that could be just mine. Your results may vary, but this one just kind of missed the mark for me. I was really looking forward to this one. I would rather have a face Candice Lerae figure. Maybe one day in the future, you got to think she'll turn face again. We'll get that one in the future, hopefully. But for first time in the line, I guess I was expecting a little bit more. I do like the detailed jacket they gave her. I did think that was a nice step. That did help the figure some. But still, in my rankings, she came in at number 4. Then probably I would have to say the plainest Janus figure in the set. Apollo Crews coming in second to the last. Not a lot to go with this one. It's an updated Apollo Crews. I do like that we got this one because it represents a more modern day good guy Apollo Crews. So I'm happy we got this because we know we're going to get another Elite here. I don't know when. In the next 10 series, we'll call it. Of the bad guy Apollo Crews, heel Apollo Crews. We'll get that. So it's good we got an updated face version of Apollo Crews. In case he goes back in the next year or so, you can use this. But I think that was good. We also got that U.S. title for the first time. That helped save this figure a little bit. I'm not sure how well this will do out at retail because I think the people that are collecting are looking for him, how he is on TV right now. They're not necessarily looking for this one. I don't know if that U.S. title belt will help his sales some. But I do think him and Asuka will be the peg warmers of the set. That's what my gut's telling me. We'll see where that ends up going. And then we got Asuka last. And the face, there's something off on the face. I don't like the Cheshire grin smile kind of thing going on there. My True Effects scan just seems to be just a hair off. I mean, that could just be my own eyes. Not as colorful of an outfit as we want with Asuka. I'd like to see more of her ring gear represented. We didn't get a whole lot of that. She did get that mask. But just not really anything that special, and I feel like it was a step down from the network Spotlight version that was a Target exclusive a few years back, the last Asuka Elite. I felt this was a bit of a step down from that, if that makes any sense. So just not really what I was looking for in an Asuka figure for Elite 87, so that's why she is last for me. So an interesting lineup here. I really was kind of all over the place. I don't know if this is going to be the strongest Elite set in quite some time. It's just kind of feels like a transitional set, and transitional in the ways of character selection and transitional in the ways of characters that have changed gimmicks, characters that are first time in the line, and then characters that are no longer with the company. So an interesting set, Elite 87. So in the comments, you guys tell me your thoughts on Elite 87. Where do you rank them? How do you rank them? What are your thoughts on this set? Leave me a comment. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit your notification bell. We're unboxing every wrestling figure under the sun on the channel, so you don't want to miss them. Make sure you hit the notification bell, of course. Follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram, and of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So there you have it for Elite 87. I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.